from PowerToolsWithThread.com. That's my blog. Look who's with me.
Yes.
Yes.
The bus driver.
The bus driver. I got my bus driver with me. So we are about to take off in the morning and go on our Florida trip. And we have just been so excited about doing this. And we have spent the last several weeks planning and prepping and getting everything ready to go, making sure the house is going to be okay while we're gone, and doing all kinds of stuff and setting up all the schedules. I will list all of the places below that we're going to be, and we're leaving tomorrow, and we're going to be overnighting in Lafayette, Louisiana, and then I think somebody's going to come by and see us in the RV park too. And then the next day we're heading to Biloxi, Mississippi. So Key West has always been a bucket list of mine, and so that is the most southern destination, but not the final one. And then we're making our way back up on the East Coast side, St. Augustine area, and then heading for Birmingham from there. So we've got quite the trip planned. Quite the trip.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. A lot of you have been asking and asking about Keith's quilt, and you can see it's right here behind me. So let's slide apart and show it to them.
So, yeah, let's get... As you can see, I have the top done. I don't have the quilt done yet. My wife is trying to talk me into doing my own long arm, so I'm going to take the challenge. So that'll take me some more time. But yes, the fox is done. I love it. It came out great. And the eagle will be down the road. During the summer, my wife doesn't give me any time off. I have to put floors in, make seam rippers, mow the grass, work on this. So I don't know when the eagle's going to be done. But once I get started, I'm going to try to do a video on the beginning to the end. So it might be a long video, or it'll take a long time. We'll condense it.
Quilting's a really good winter project. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So for those of you who are unaware, because I've got a lot of new subscribers, so hi, welcome. I'm Becky, this is Keith, my husband, and we were at the Houston Quilt Festival in 2021, and he saw an eagle quilt on the wall from legitkits.com. They had a booth there, and he was like, oh, I want you to make that quilt for me. And I took one look at it and realized it was paper pieced. And I said, absolutely not. I do not like to paper piece. It's not my thing. I'm a pretty fair quilt piecer, but traditionally, but I am not, my brain can't wrap around the paper piecing. So I said, if you want that quilt, you make it. And so again, he took the challenge. And this is Autumn the Fox. This is the Autumn the Fox pattern. And the top is finished. Let me move the camera so you can see down to the bottom of it, so you can see the bottom of the fox. Look at that, into that nose. Isn't that amazing? That's just awesome. So I'm real proud of him for doing that. That was pretty cool. And you know, I didn't have a sewing machine he could use, so he bought his own, and it's in the other room back there. And he did it all by himself in a separate room. He was not in here with me at all doing it with mine. No. I was going to quilt it. I've got a new Grace Canique 21 Pro on a Continuum 2 frame with the QCT5 Pro software. And I just got it. I'm real new to it. And I told him, I said, let me mess up a couple of other quilts before I mess yours up. But the other night I said, you know, maybe you ought to learn how to run the long arm, because one of the places we're going to go to, matter of fact, it'll be on Tuesday, the 26th of April, we're going to be at Piece by Piece in Biloxi, Mississippi. And there is a gentleman there who runs the long arm. It's a retired Navy guy. And I said, well, now you can't let the Navy outshine the Air Force, right? We can't do that. Keith and I are both retired Air Force. So, you know, he'll talk to him, and maybe he will, maybe he won't. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's cool that we enjoy doing the same things. So yeah, we've got a big trip ahead of us. Got to get out early in the morning, beat that Houston afternoon traffic.
Well, let me tell you what I've been up to, because my wife, besides putting the floor in at the coast, that's done, yard's cut. Everything's cleaned up. She asked me to do some seam rippers for the trip. So I made 50 some seam rippers, also made some necklaces. And some of these are online, some of them aren't online. I kind of had as I felt some different designs on the necklaces, but we're gonna have some products with this in case somebody comes by. I know Becky has told her followers not to give me hats, but if you all come to see us,
stop that. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
please bring a hat. With I collect hats. This is from Colorado, and I'd be glad to have your hat.
You got that from Brian.
Yeah, from Brian
Christine.
and with Christine.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate the hats. I do wear them.
We don't have any more
listen to
room
my
for hats. No.
That's not her problem.
You're gonna have to start keeping them out in the garage. So by necklaces, he means he makes these seam rippers, and they're made out of acrylic. Let me show you. These are great if you're a longarmer, and I wear this whenever I longarm. And this just tucks in like this, and it's on a pretty strong magnet like that. So it's very cool. And if you're a longarmer, these are great gifts. So you can just put it around your neck, and then you can be working at the long arm, and usually I work with it hanging open like this, and then if I need to, it's right there, and I just do whatever I need to do, and then it goes right back on, and it's always handy. So yeah, he's made a bunch of seam rippers that are the seam ripper and stiletto combo, and he has made a whole bunch of these necklaces as well too. So we'll have them with us when we are traveling around. So usually when we travel, like last time when we went to Idaho, we didn't take any product with us, but we're going to this time. So we'll have a few things with us.
Now I'd like to also break in here. My beautiful quilt is on top of my wife's quilt that is fully done, but it only took her a year and a half.
No, well, that is not true.
Mine didn't take a year and a half.
That is not true. Okay, that is not true because
That is true.
it is not true. Here, let me take this down. Okay.
It took longer than mine.
Yeah, well, let me tell you the true story, okay? Not a year and a half. That's not fair.
Okay.
So when we went on our trip to Idaho last year, I was invited to Jelly Rolls to Go. Christine, who runs jellyrollstogo.com, she invited me over to her house, which is her store, and she gave me a gift. So that was in July, Keith, okay? That was in July, all right? And she gave me a gift. I had purchased, I don't know if it was a flash sale from the Fat Quarter Shop or somewhere along the line. I had picked up a layer cake of Eliza by Williamsburg. So I just loved the fabric. I thought it was great. And Christine heard that, and when I got there, she had given me this table runner made out of the fabrics from the Eliza line. And I just loved these fabrics. I thought they were just absolutely gorgeous. So she did a simple log cabin and made it into a table runner. And I said, this is just gorgeous. And I thought it would be a beautiful combination for a new quilt on the master,
Almost a year ago.
on the bed. It's April.
Right.
I'm busy. I'm busy. Christine helped me choose this pattern and everything, and day before yesterday, he says to me, it was really early in the morning, about 6 o'clock, he says to me, are you gonna finish that quilt before we leave? And I was like, oh my gosh. So I have been sewing like a machine, literally, since 6 o'clock 2 days ago. I had all of the log cabin blocks made. I just needed to get them laid out in the right pattern and then get the rows sewn together, get it quilted. And y'all, I cannot tell you how much fabric I had for this thing. Oh my gosh, I had that layer cake that I originally bought. Then I bought a fat quarter bundle of it. Then I bought yardage of it because I needed more yardage in order to do all these blocks. And I just ended up with tons and tons of this fabric. And I'm happy to say I'm down to nothing left but like a little shoebox worth. So let me take the camera off and show you the quilt. So this is just beautiful. Let me go wide on it. There you go. And it's so funny because looking at it, like the way I'm looking at it, it looks completely different in the viewfinder of the camera because the black just pops in the viewfinder. And I had a simple, I just did a simple fleur-de-lis stitch design on here. And it turned out just beautiful. So what did I do with all of the rest of that fabric? Would you grab that corner down there, babe, please, and pull it up? And just walk all the way back. I made the backing. I just sewed fat quarters, and I had some blocks that I had started that I didn't like, and I just started sewing. I didn't care. And let me get up here and you can see the quilting better. There's the fleur-de-lis and the quilting. Yeah, and it's just a simple pattern. But yeah, so it's all done, and we are ready to go and put it on the bed in the motorhome.
Almost a year later.
So if you see us when we are out and about, please stop by, say hi. Keith is actually going to come with me to maybe all of the shops, some of the shops, and so you'll get a chance to say hi to him too. And if you bring somebody with you who bemoans all of your fabric purchases, maybe they can commiserate.
With a hat.
Stop it! Hey, I'm gonna talk about stuff that's come in the mail. Do you want to stay for that, or do you want to go?
Nope. Hopefully we'll see you on the road. And thanks for supporting Becky, and subscribe.
Hey, you did good. Let me give you my schedule for where we're gonna be. Piece by Piece in Biloxi on April 26th. And all of these are from 10 to 12, except for Ruthie's Notions. I think she's going to open at 9. I'm not sure. We'll have to work about that. But Ruthie's Notions in Baker, Florida on May 2nd. The Sewing and Training Center in Fort Walton on the 3rd, May 3rd. The Seam Shop in Key West on May 7th. Inspire Quilting in Plant City on May 11th. And Calico Station in Orange Park May 17th, and then I have a dime event with you guys on the 18th, and I will talk about that in another video as we get closer. Okay, I wanted to show you guys some stuff that's come in the mail. I was watching So Yeah Quilting the other night, and they had a line that Edita Sitar had put out from Laundry Basket Quilts, and you know, normally she does like blues. Well, she had this beautiful line of olives and tans and whatnot, and I went looking through my Villa Rosa Designs patterns for something that called for fat quarters, because I had 12 fat quarters, and I got extra yardage for a border, and I got enough for a backing. So the quilt I want to make with this, I decided on Oklahoma, which takes 10 fat quarters. So here's what the quilt looks like right there. So I love using these, you guys. There's no bias seams in there. That's going to be really nice. So let me show you what came in. Just beautiful stuff. I love it. Maybe that's a little bit better. So this is tan with little tiny floral. And this looks like a geometric pattern with little blocks, and another leaf print. And then here are the reds. They have a dot. And there's the geometric. And this is a floral. Very pretty stuff, you guys. Here are more leaves in green. And the dot. This is so pretty. The camera doesn't do it justice. That's a real pretty, it's got that like light yellow on there. And then we've got a large scale floral here, and I don't know if these are fireflies or what. Not sure what those are. We have another dot, okay, and a large scale leaf, kind of a tone on tone. Very pretty. And then the border fabric I got was this. It's kind of, it's tan, but I love the orange that's on there. And then I got this for the backing. And this is kind of a mustard color with leaves and floral. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. So I was really excited to get that in. I'm really glad I did. Okay, so I'm gonna make Oklahoma out of this. That's the plan. I'm not taking it with me on the trip. We're not gonna be home till, gosh, first week of June maybe? I don't know, we're gonna be gone. I don't know. The other night we were sitting outside and he said, hey, we're gonna be up by Tennessee. Let's go to Nashville. I thought, oh my goodness, when are we gonna get back? Okay, and then I got from Villa Rosa Designs, they sell a ton of fabric. In addition, same company that makes these little cards. So in addition to the patterns, they had this new line. It is called Posh Hedgehogs. And I got a little bit of all of it. So I want to show it to you guys. Let me show you the main print. It's kind of a whimsical juvenile fabric, but it's adorable. I just love it. So this is Posh Hedgehogs on blue. It's a really, really light baby blue. Here it is on lime green. Aren't they cute? Oh my gosh. And here's a, like leaves, triangles, some geometric stuff. This is on kind of an aqua. And here it is again on a peach. You can really see the dots on this one. I didn't even notice the dots on the aqua, but I certainly do see them on the peach. And then we've got, I bought a bunch of this. This is gonna be a main print fabric. Is that right side up to you? Yes. There we go. Posh Hedgehogs. This is just adorable stuff. My goodness. And then some blenders to go with it. I got dots on peach. And it had, this looks like little triangles in the round with geometric prints, another aqua and turquoise. And I have lime green dots on white. So that's adorable. Isn't that cute? I think that's precious. Super cute quilt. Super cute. Oh, I finished that Thomas the Train quilt, and do you know I did not get a picture of it? I showed y'all a picture in my last video, but I gave it to my friend who's going to give it to her grandson. So I did that on Wednesday, but I got that done. I was very happy to have that done. Yeah, this is all that's left of the Eliza line. I've got this one shoebox of scraps. So I think I did pretty good with it. I don't even want to think about how much that thing cost because of all the yardage I bought. But I got a good use out of it. I even thought about using Pat Sloan's Harmony. I have some of the white with the black and tan flowers on it. And I got real close. I opened it up and everything. If I'd have had enough to do the entire quilt, I probably would have used it. And I could have probably even pieced it in. But I was just like, I just want to use all of this Eliza fabric. So I did not have any kind of thought process at all of what was going to go where. The sewing studio. I was watching YouTube the other night and they were having a trunk show of Elizabeth Hartman quilts. Y'all know, I buy those. I buy all the patterns. So you could get, it was like 20%, maybe a little more off of all of their kits, Elizabeth Hartman kits. So they kitted some. Well, of course, by the time I got there, everything was gone. But I did get Cats in Space. I did not have that pattern yet. So I picked up Cats in Space. And it has the small quilt, which is 52 by 52. That's on the cover. And then they have a large quilt that's 76 by 76. So the small quilt has the 4 cats like this. And then this has 9 cats for the large one, if you make the great big one. I'm going to need to get that background. I'm going to need to get some of that. And then the kit they had, one they had available was pandas in sweaters. My granddaughter would love this. Isn't that precious? Now I already had the pandas in sweaters pattern, so I'll probably do a giveaway and that'll be included in one of those. I'm not doing that right now before we leave because I can't get it out to you, so I'll do giveaways when I get back. And then Reb's Fab Stash had a big sale on all things Lori Holt. So because I'm doing the chickens and I don't know when I'm gonna, for chicken salad, and I don't know when I'm gonna get an urge to do something else, I went ahead and got all of the simple shapes that she had in stock. So I got Farm Sweet Farm, got that one. I got Granny's Garden, picked this one up. And Fruit Salad, I got that one. And My Happy Place, that's a cute quilt, My Happy Place. I'll love that. And then, oh, and somebody in our Facebook group, they had done a Lori Holt quilt using the method I do, where you trace the shape on printer paper and then run it into the scan and cut and create the embroidery file using BES4 or Simply Applique from the digital file that's created by the scan and cut. So cool. So you use the scan and cut to cut out the shape in fabric, and then you use the embroidery file to sew it all down. No more flip and turn for doing applique for Lori Holt's quilts. And then I got the Beekeeper zipper pouches that she uses. I like these. These have nice zippers on them. The ones I got, oh, and I got another, the book. So I got 2 packages of the Beekeeper binder pockets, and then another one of these cookbook notebooks. I like this. This is great. And I've got it with the tabs inside. I got the tabs on my last Lori Holt binge shopping trip. So good, I can put all this up. Y'all, I still have to pack the refrigerator in the coach. Got a lot done so far. Last minute things here and there and getting ready to go. So it's all very exciting. I am taking my Brother NQ 3700D with me, Gypsy, my travel machine. It's an embroidery machine, so that's going. I'm taking my scan and cut. So I've got all kinds of projects. I've got to finish the May table topper. I've got the June table topper fabric with me. I'm doing a super secret project for Pat Sloan. So that's going to be in May. And so I've got all kinds of projects to keep me busy, and then I'm sure I will shop along the way. So, all right, you guys, that's a lot. Thanks for visiting with me. Thank you for sharing your time with me. And I really enjoyed this, and I hope to see you out and about. All right, we will talk to you soon. Go sew something. Bye.